Good evening from InvestSharp. This is Randy Smotone with your Tuesday, May 18th market update. On the economic front, the monthly U.S. housing start showed an increase of 5.8% for April, but April permits were down 11.5%, so kind of a mixed picture there. The producer price index fell by 0.1%, but less food and energy. It was actually up 0.2%. On deck for tomorrow, we'll have the monthly consumer price index and the weekly nat gas report. The dollar, gold, silver, copper were up. Oil was down. Light sweet crude futures were down another 67 cents to settle at $69.41 a barrel. So taking a look at the dollar, it's flying higher. Actually had a little more buying today than it has for the last few days. Take a little longer view here. So we're up here at the 25.54 level. Yeah, may have some resistance kind of going up here, but I don't know. FXE is the Euro ETF so weak. I'm not sure it matters if there's any resistance. We'll probably just plow through it. So let's take a look at the Dow. Dow closed down 114 points to 10,510. S&P closed down 16 points to 1,120. Nasdaq closed down 36 points to 2,317. And the Russell closed down 13 points to 682. The Dow held up the best by being down only 1.08%. The Russell had the largest percent loss, down 1.86%. So we were definitely, it was one of those really choppy days of up and it went higher, and then we pulled back, and we're just kind of all over the place, pretty much following the euro. Whatever it does, then we seem to just follow along. So we've got. Let's look at the SPX here. All of them look similar as far as indices go. They all have some type of a little triangle type pattern building here. MACDs are looking terrible. I mean, we're so oversold. I've been saying this now for a couple of days that we should get kind of a bounce. I mean, yesterday looked kind of promising, and then I guess it just depends on what the euro does tomorrow. So possibly we could catch a little support here and bounce, but didn't really act like it into the close. So of course we could open a lot lower and then bounce, but Nasdaq same way here. You draw a little something like that, maybe another kind of triangle shape here. Take a look at gold. Look at the GLD, pulled back today. Of course, a little bit of buying here. Silver, same way, still holding that around that 1850 or so on the SLV, the silver ETF. Copper was, we'll see if it stops here. It's just the inside day of this big old bearish candle. And XLF, let's look at it real quick here. XLF. So we're back to here. We retraced 61% from these February 2010 low on the financials, and they sold off again today. I mean, with this financial regulatory stuff on the table, it's just continue to struggle. And the VIX flying higher today, up 8.79%, up $2.71 to 33.55. And options are pretty kind of expensive right now as well. I mean, not real super expensive, but compared to what we're gotten used to, kind of as we're going down here, they're a little expensive. So I like spreads better, or going buying or shorting stocks at this point, just because of the calls and puts aren't really cheap. So let's go over and look at the McClellan. Of course, we just keep hanging down in here. It seems like we're definitely oversold. This is the NYSE McClellan, minus 88. So like I said, every day I keep thinking we're gonna have a bounce, and it like we actually had one today, and then it deteriorated. So let's see here. Let's go look at the sectors. All 16 sectors we follow finished in the red today. The biotechs actually held up the best. They were down 0.69%. The bank index was the weakest, down 3.72%. And you can tell the broker-dealer semis are right there too. Not good. Over to ChartWatch, a few ideas. I mean, this market is just really tough, especially for a swing trader or even investors. I mean, it's, again, good for scalping. That's about it. This SSRX had a nice big breakout today, so you might want to keep that one on your radar. Still like this American Superconductor. It did pull back today, almost 5%. Wasn't on tons of volume though. Had this gap to fill, which it did. So you might want to keep your eye on this AMSC, especially if we get a bounce. Still like this Merit MIR. Again, a huge pullback, but on a lighter volume, as long as it can hold this trend line around this for the low today, about 1248. So, I would say around 1235, 1245 or so. You could probably go along that one if you dare to go along anything. Medcath MDTH still holding up pretty well. AXP breaking lower today with volume. So again, I hate shorting stuff right now. I keep waiting on this bounce that we really don't get much of. But again, I'd like to short AXP, but I'd like to do it up here a little higher. USMO still holding up as long as it can hold. It needs to hold around this 14 a quarter, 1450. Not heavy selling today. Pretty light volume pullback, and obviously it was headed higher until the market rolled over. Dr. Pepper Snapple still holding up well. Value Click still holding up well. Just kind of a neutral day of kind of even buying and selling. And of course, I still like this BGC. We've been watching it for a while. As long as it can hold this support area there at that trend line. Medifast, I like it really well, especially if you get it around 3250, and it holds the trend line and it doesn't break down along with everything else. JP Morgan. So let's look at it a little further here. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty. Again, I wouldn't want to short it here, and I would like to get it, possibly back up. I don't know, maybe somewhere here in this area. I would consider shorting it then. X, same way. It's breaking lower, but I really would like to catch a bounce. The rest of these we've been looking at. MBL just heads lower again. If you could ever catch a bounce in anything that lasts more than a few hours. ATK, same way with it. Still very bearish. And all these we've already looked at. I really don't have much of anything new. I went through, scanned a lot of stuff, and charts are pretty nasty, and a lot of stuff's already broken down for, has been breaking down now for, over a week and a half, and it's just, not exciting, going short right now until we get a nice bump up. I like this one a lot short if I could get it up around 50. This is my short wish list of getting a pop. Cree, I talked about this yesterday. The MACD was really low, and I thought they'd sell it, and that's what they did. So maybe some of you caught that one. Jacobs Engineering again up against that resistance area, and with this MACD rolling over, I would think Jacobs Engineering is going to roll lower. So you could actually short that one probably. Not too bad of a spot. Apache, this thing just keeps hanging around, but again, I'd like it if you could get it up here. And then, of course, the only things really holding up, GLD, silver, the same stuff we've been watching. I like this BVN. It's been hanging tough. It's actually, if it follows this channel through, it should get up into this area, over time. Probably won't hit straight there, but I still like it. The miners, AEM still holding up all right. Rand Gold, all these, we covered. There's a whole ton of these, and most of them look pretty decent. AUY, Silver Wheaton still looking pretty good. May fill this gap though, so you might want to try to buy it down. GSS, Golden Star, as long as it holds this about 4 1/4 or so. I like it down here. It's having a nice, looks like it's possible bull flag here. So let's take a look at the current market signals. Of course, there's no change there. We follow point and figure charts, the Dow, Nasdaq, S&P. Dow, Nasdaq, Russell all on sales. S&P still on a buy. It has to fall much, much further to go on a sell signal. So that is it for today. And maybe here after another week or two, some of these charts will straighten up and we'll have some actually good trading. Thanks for watching our daily market analysis.